Welcome everybody to the #1 daily Bitcoin pod. In today's show, Bitcoin traders eye the weekly close volatility as Bitcoin returns to $27,000. And check this out, quoting Michael Saylor, Bitcoin is an asset class, and that's a major revolution. If Fidelity and BlackRock and if 10 other ETF issuers all agree that Bitcoin is an asset class, it should be 10x to 100x bigger than it is right now. Max Kaiser's response to this was my thesis buying Bitcoin in 2011. Max Kaiser also says that every one of 7 million Salvadorans will have Bitcoin nodes to ensure their country never goes backwards. This is a project we're working on now. Respect. Also in today's show, Ethereum's losing streak versus Bitcoin hits a whopping 15 months. Can the Ethereum price reverse course? We'll also be discussing Apple briefly pulling the MetaMask Ethereum wallet from the App Store and then bringing it back, as well as crypto analysts as Bitcoin to surpass gold and silver within the next decade, as well as Bloomberg analyst predicts the likelihood of a spot Bitcoin ETF by January 2024. I'm also going to be sharing with you macro economist Lyn Alden predicting the Bitcoin price is likely to hit another 10x, taking the price action to $280,000 per coin. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this plus so much more in today's show. And a quick reminder, if you're new to the channel, make sure to smash that subscribe button to receive daily premium crypto news alerts every single day, just like this. And if you gain value out of today's episode, be sure to smash that like button as it helps out tremendously with the YouTube algorithm. Now, this is podcast episode number 1431. Welcome to today's show. I'm your host, JV, and today is October 15th, 2023. Let's kick it off with our market watch. Massive shout out to everyone out there in the live chat. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Now, let's break this baby down. Checking out Coin 360. We got Bitcoin reclaiming 27,000. Let's get it. We have Ether also back in the red, trading above 1560, along with XRP and BNB, while Doge, Solana, and Cardano are all correcting and in the red. And checking out coinmarketcap.com, the current crypto market cap sits at $1.06 trillion with roughly 16 billion of volume at the past 24 hours, with the Bitcoin dominance at 49.9% and the Ether dominance at 17.8%. How high do you feel the Bitcoin Dom is like to climb this cycle? Let me know. And as you can see, the top 100 crypto gainers of the past 24 hours, Trust Wallet token leading the pack up 6.5%, followed by Loom Network up 6.5%, followed by Ape NFT up almost 2%. Now, checking out the top 100 crypto gainers for the past week, you can see a lot of gains overall. Loom, RLB, and Trust Wallet token leading the pack. And checking out the Crypto Greed and Fear Index. We're currently rated a 45 in fear. Yesterday, a 47. Last week, a 50. And last month, a 45 in fear. So there you have it, fam. How many of you are currently bullish on the King Crypto? Let me know in the comments right down below. Now let's dive into today's Bitcoin technical analysis. Check out the charts and where the Bitcoin price action is likely to go next. Check it. And again, welcome y'all just joining us. Bitcoin cruised into a new weekly close on October 15th as the ultra boring trading conditions still offered hope of a 27,000 breakthrough, which we just literally reclaimed before I hit the record button. Now, data from Cointelegraph and TradingView tracked a typically sideways weekend with the Bitcoin price volatility absent prior to the close, but still acting around the 26.8 key mark. Bitcoin denied traders major trajectory cues while the spot markets were quiet. Quoting SKU Analytics, typical weekend algos hunting over exposed positions into the CME futures open around 12 hours from now and weekly open tomorrow. Not really any significant flow for this weekend thus far. Just one spot buyer and perp buyer, likely algo. So considering that potential, crypto analyst Michelle Makori shared the following. Weekends are ultra boring for trading, especially for Bitcoin. Unchanged perspective, did a double bottom test at 26,500 and held there, currently fighting resistance through which another test of 27,000 should end up with a breakout of $27,800 as he shared alongside this chart. Let me know if you agree or disagree with Michelle Makori. And another trader, Dan Crypto Trades, is sharing this here. Still no convincing close above or below some for weeks now as we trade right around this area. And then we had him also share that Bitcoin pretty straightforward weekend, expecting some volatility and volume increase in a few hours as we tend to see on Sunday afternoon. And lo and behold, that's precisely what we're experiencing at this moment. Now, 27,000 and beyond also formed a focus as potential long-term support over the weekend, as Timothy Peterson, founder and investment manager at Cane Island Alternative Advisors, said the Bitcoin price level is gaining importance moving forward. That's right. Thanks to the relationship between the price and adoption, 27,000 should constitute a form of a benchmark, which sustains the support around 75% of the time by the end of this year, 2023. Quoting him here, Bitcoin price spends 75% of its time above its adoption curve. That curve will reach 27,000 in 60 days. Interesting. And you can see that adoption curve chart for the King crypto. Now, back in August, Peterson predicted a 15% Bitcoin price dip by October, while 100,000 should hit within the next 3 years. So there you have it, fam. Now, I shared this recently on X before I went live, and it's already going viral. Shout out to Michael Saylor, the one and only Giga Chad. Already got 375 hearts and 75 retweets. Here's what Michael Saylor shares in this clip, the founder of MicroStrategy, the first publicly traded company to put Bitcoin on its balance sheet. Saylor says, Bitcoin is an asset class, and that's a major revolution. If Fidelity and BlackRock and if 10 other ETF issuers all agree the Bitcoin is an asset class, it should be 10x to 100x bigger than it is right now. Preach. And Max Kaiser retweeted it and wrote the following: "This was my thesis buying Bitcoin in 2011. Word up. Go Max." Now, also want to share this. Someone was clowning El Salvador. LG, he wrote, "The problem with El Salvador is that the entire country's prosperity is on one man's shoulders," referring to their president, Nayib Bukele. "What happens when he's gone or taken out?" And Max had a profound response. Listen up. "Every one of 7 million Salvadorans will have Bitcoin nodes to ensure their country never goes backwards. This is the project we're working on now. Respect." Now, how many of you are currently running your own Bitcoin node, becoming the Bitcoin network? Let me know, fam, in the comments right down below. Now let's break down our next story of the day. Will Bitcoin continue outpacing Ethereum like it has been for the past 15 months? Well, let's discuss it, shall we? And shout out to everyone in that live chat. Much love and much respect. The price of Ethereum's native token Ether is trading around 15-month lows versus the King crypto, and the lowest since Ethereum switched to proof of stake. I think that was their death wish personally, and the worst move they could have potentially made. What are your thoughts, fam? Here we go. The ETH/Bitcoin pair dropped as low as 0.056 Bitcoin earlier in the week, and in doing so, it broke below its 200-week exponential moving average near 0.058 BTC, raising downside risk further into 2023. The 200-week exponential moving average has historically served as reliable support for the Bitcoin/ETH bulls. For instance, the pair rebounded 75% 3 months after testing that wave support in July of last year, and conversely, it dropped over 25% after losing that same support in October of 2020, as outlined here in the chart. ETH/BTC stares at similar sell-off risk in 2023 after losing its 200-week exponential moving average as support. So in this case, the next downside target looks to be around the 0.5 Fibonacci line near 0.051 Bitcoin in 2023, down 9.5% from the current price action. And conversely, Ethereum price may rebound towards 50-week exponential moving average near 0.065 Bitcoin if it reclaims that 200-week EMA. Now, Ethereum's persistent weakness versus Bitcoin is reflected in the institutional capital flow data. So let's discuss it. For instance, October 6, Bitcoin-specific investment funds had attracted $246 million year to date, according to CoinShares. And on the other hand, Ethereum funds have lost capital, witnessing outflows worth $104 million in that same period. I mean, here's the chart, shows you the flows by asset. Now, the discrepancy is likely due to the growing buzz about a potential spot Bitcoin ETF in the United States, which towards the end of the show, we'll be breaking this down in great details, the likelihood of that spot ETF being approved here in the short term. Now, trade pundits argue that a spot Bitcoin ETF will attract $600 billion. I'd say it's going to usher in trillions. Hey, what are your thoughts? In addition, Bitcoin's fourth halving is scheduled to take place April 24th, 2024, roughly 6 months out, and is also acting as a tailwind versus the altcoin market. And as we all know, the Bitcoin halving is going to reduce the Bitcoin Bitcoin miners block reward from 6.25 BTC to 3.125 BTC, which is a bullish case based on historical precedent that cuts the new supply in half. How many of you are pretty stoked up for that Bitcoin halving around the corner? And what are your thoughts? Do you think Bitcoin will continue outpacing Ethereum as it has since it switched from proof of work to proof of stake? Let me know your honest thoughts in the comments right down below. Massive shout out to everyone today in that live chat. It's popping. I love it. Appreciate all the interaction, fam. Ambrosia Chocolate Factory, what it do? $0 G-Row, Felix Hopkins, Mikey Likes It, Digital Dankness, McLovin, Passive Income, Midwest Picker, what up? Fairground Fun Fairs UK in the building. Ron P, good to see ya. Yaheem Stone, welcome. Ron P, job blessed. JJ, what it do? Good to see you all. Make sure to say hello and let me know where you're tuning in from so I can give you a live shout out as well. But let's continue, shall we? As we have so much to cover in the show today. Now let's discuss the latest with an Ethereum wallet called MetaMask. How many of you have heard of it or used it before? Let me know in the chat, as it recently got pulled from the Apple iOS store, but interestingly enough, it later then returned. So here's what's going on. Ethereum wallet MetaMask was removed from the Apple store for several hours October 14th, raising concerns about its complete removal from the marketplace. The wallet is connected to various Web3 decentralized apps. MetaMask claims to have over 30 million users worldwide currently, and on October 14th, reports surfaced that MetaMask app no longer appeared in the App Store. Apple users were also unable to download the app from the MetaMask website. So according to a spokesperson for MetaMask, the issue isn't related to any security incident or malicious activity, quoting them here. We are aware that MetaMask isn't currently available for download on the App Store. This issue is unrelated to any malicious activity. Our dedicated team is working diligently to resolve it as quickly as possible. Importantly, this is not a security concern, and there is no compromise or action required on the user's part. Additionally, it is not related to the app's functionality. Now, even myself, as soon as I noticed this news, I shared it on the 14th, and within a few minutes, MetaMask responded, and they're like, this is not a big issue or a security concern, yada, 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 and it's being restored. So let's see why that happened in the first place. That's what I want to know. Apple's service policies are likely behind the app's disappearance. So there you have it. Maybe it violated their terms and conditions. And according to the marketplace's guidelines, it doesn't allow apps to run unrelated background processes such as cryptocurrency mining. And according to MetaMask, the removal of its app was only temporary. Quoting them again, we anticipate MetaMask will be back on the App Store shortly, and lo and behold, it is already back, fam. A spokesperson said minutes before the app turned back on, adding that any fake MetaMask apps on the App Store should be reported immediately. So that's another thing which may have happened. A lot of scammers and imposters out there with apps pretending to be something they're not. MetaMask faces challenges from big tech marketplaces for the second time. In December 2019, the company was suspended from the Google Play App Store for allegedly violating the company's financial services guidelines. Google cited its policy prohibiting crypto mining on mobile devices and promptly rejected a MetaMask appeal to reverse the ban. Apple's guidelines also require app developers to share 30% of transaction revenues. That's right. And for crypto firms, including those that want iOS users to be able to purchase NFTs, the 30% Apple tax has also been a barrier. So there you have it, fam. Me personally, I'm not a big fan of MetaMask. I have used it long ago, but again, I've become more distant from Ethereum since they moved from the proof of work protocol to a proof of stake. And of course, MetaMask is an Ethereum ERC20 wallet, convenient to use on your computer using Firefox. It's simply a plugin in which you install, and it allows you to send and receive cryptocurrency. So let me know, fam, if that has impacted or affected you in any way, and have you used MetaMask before? Let me know. Now let's break down Bitcoin versus gold and silver, shall we? The two most popular precious metals. Here we go. On Tuesday, an anonymous crypto analyst from Invest Answers channel, shout out to Invest Answers, shared more light on the future of Bitcoin. He revealed Bitcoin is set to surpass both gold and the silver market cap in no more than a decade. And correct me if I'm wrong, chat, but I believe the gold market cap is currently sitting at roughly $12 trillion. So here we go. over the years, Bitcoin has been regarded as digital gold or gold 2.0 or gold with wings due to the fact that crypto offers the same benefits as gold with each even additional features. That's right. In times of economic and political turbulence, Bitcoin has been a safe haven asset. And in the video, the analyst was able to highlight the underlying difference between Bitcoin and gold, since silver is no longer a safe haven and gold has been more reliable as a precious metal than silver. So according to the crypto analyst, there has been distraught amongst the crypto community on the idea of whether the paper versions of gold, talking about derivatives, financial weapons of financial destruction, right? And Bitcoin can change their real world prices and potential price manipulations by financial giants such as JP Morgan and BlackRock. However, the analyst was kind to shed some light on the growing issue in the video. He said, for gold, it's impossible to know if there is a gold back-end to the paper that exists, which makes things very risky. On the other hand, with Bitcoin, it's much easier to prove and check, making it much more trustworthy. That's right. We also have the ability to pull our private keys, in which you can't do that in the gold or silver markets. In addition, the analyst stated that he strongly believes that Bitcoin will surpass gold in the next 8 to 10 years, not just because of the preceding reasons, but because the crypto can be so easy to verify. Quoting him here, believe me, forget the other 20 advantages that Bitcoin has over gold. I believe Bitcoin will smash gold performance over the next 8 to 10 years because you can verify. Therefore, I know a lot of the people are worried about paper and manipulation by the JP Morgan Chase and the BlackRocks of the world, but they can't because can be so easily verified. Now, another crypto analyst, David Waugh, the lead catalyst of Coinbits, has also backed the crypto. According to the analyst, Bitcoin's technological developments make it a superior asset over gold. Facts. He further added that crypto's improvements in divisibility, portability, durability, verifiability, and scarcity make the digital asset a more efficient and reliable store of value. Facts. It's the greatest store of value in the world. What alternatives do we have? Nothing in the same ballpark, in my humble opinion. So yeah, Grayscale Bitcoin ETF approval sparks some momentum. Recently, the US SEC has been given less than a day to file an appeal on the Grayscale plan to convert their GBTC into a Bitcoin ETF, or will be forced to approve the company's plan if the SEC fails to file an appeal. And in fact, they did fail to file the appeal. So this is actually a great indicator. Gary Gensler didn't appeal it whatsoever, which means they're going to have to be in talk and conversation moving forward with the conversion of GBTC, the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, into a spot Bitcoin ETF in the United States. This is a massive deal because right now, Grayscale controls over 600,000 of the Bitcoin supply, which makes them the largest hodler in the world, even more so than the US government, even more so than MicroStrategy, which was the first publicly traded company to put Bitcoin on the balance sheet. And in order for one of these massive behemoths, these financial institutions, to offer a spot Bitcoin ETF, which offers true price discovery in the market, they must be holding on to the underlying asset. So can you say incoming supply shock? Because could you imagine these major institutions, the BlackRocks, the Fidelities, that get the green light, GBTC, ARC21, all of them, Vanguard, then it's game on. There's going to be a massive rush to purchase Bitcoin, which is going to drive the price action up. You got to consider the long-term hodlers. They're not selling. And I believe currently over 60% of the Bitcoin in circulation is in the hands of the long-term hodlers. So let's go. Where my long-term hodlers at? Make some noise in the comments right down below. Now let's break down our next story of the day and dive deeper into the spot Bitcoin ETF and what this likely means moving forward, and what's the probability, like the chances, the odds that this spot Bitcoin ETF does get approved by January of next year before the halving set to occur in April. Let's break this baby down, shall we? Shout out to everyone in that live chat. Make some noise. Following notable changes to the ARC21 Shares Spot Bitcoin ETF app, Bloomberg ETF analyst James Safart and Eric Balchunas of Bloomberg predicted that the US SEC could approve a fund as early as next year. And here's the stat: 90% chance of approval. That means there is a 9 out of 10 percent chance that this happens. In a post shared on X, Safart highlighted his team's prediction of the 90% chance that a spot Bitcoin ETF gets approved by ARK Invest's January 10th deadline. Let's go. January 10th is the day the SEC is expected to make that final decision, approval or denial on the ARK Invest Spot Bitcoin ETF app. How do you think this will likely play out? Let me know your predictions, fam. Their latest prediction comes amid the recent amendment that ARK Invest in 21 shares made to their Spot Bitcoin ETF prospectus. These updates include further context to the fund and additional risk disclosures. These analysts believe that this sort of amendment only happens when a fund is on its way to being approved. So definitely a good omen and a great opportunity for all of us in crypto to front run these major institutions. Now, these Bloomberg analysts had earlier predicted, following the Grayscale victory, there was a 75% chance that the pending spot Bitcoin ETF apps could be approved this year, and that the odds would rise to 95% by the end of next year if these funds weren't approved by then. So Eric Balchunas has noted recently on X that Invesco Galaxy had also amended its spot Bitcoin ETF prospectus following the ARK 21 shares amendment. He stated that he expects other applicants to update their apps soon. This suggests that the SEC could approve all apps simultaneously, similar to what it did with the Ethereum futures ETFs. Could you imagine like a domino effect, one after the other? Let's go. Meanwhile, these spot Bitcoin ETF apps were given a huge boost following the SEC decision not to appeal the court ruling in the case recently against Grayscale. The SEC had until October 13th to appeal the court's ruling that it had acted arbitrarily and capriciously in disapproving the Grayscale app to convert a GBTC fund into a spot ETF. And following the decision not to file the app or appeal to the Supreme Court, Reuters reported that the appeals court is expected to issue a mandate laying out how the SEC can carry out its order, including the commission reviewing the Grayscale application again. Now, James Safard also noted the dialogue between Grayscale and the SEC should begin next week, which I'll be covering here in the show. However, it remains uncertain if or when the SEC will approve these apps, especially considering that it has delayed its decision on all spot Bitcoin ETFs until next year. So there you have it, fam. Let me know when spot Bitcoin ETF in the United States. Do you think it can happen in January by that deadline? Do you think it'll be pushed back again, potentially to March before the halving taking place in April? Or do you think it could potentially get pushed back to post-halving, which would mean after April of 2024? Let me know your thoughts, and which major asset manager do you think will get the green light first? Will it be BlackRock, the largest asset manager in the world, which controls 10 trillion in assets under management? Will it be Fidelity, that controls 4.5 trillion in assets under management? Will it be ARK 21, who Kathy says they had their application first, so it's first come, first serve? Or could it be a smorgasbord of ETFs where they all get approved roughly at the same time? Because competition is a damn good thing. And again, it's going to attract trillions upon trillions of dollars into the Bitcoin market and be an absolute game changer. So personally, I cannot wait. And with that being shared, fam, now let's dive into our breaking story of the day. Macro economist Lyn Alden predicts the Bitcoin price to 10x from here, virtually meaning a $280,000 Bitcoin price action. She was recently interviewed on Kitco News just a couple of days ago, and I transcribed the highlights from her interview. So let's break this baby down, shall we? A massive shout out to everyone in the live chat. This is the video if you want to watch her whole interview. It's actually a two-part series. And as you can see here, U.S. government shutdown November, impact on the economy, U.S. gold and Bitcoin with Lyn Alden. But like I said, I took all the highlights for your convenience. And here's what she had to share. Way that markets work in terms of money, especially on the global scale, is that over time, people want to get out of weaker monies as they can. And if there is all this kind of fencing that kind of keeps them in, but technology is way too kind to break through that. And so it is when we see kind of these countries fail, like these currencies fail, they generally don't return to the gold standard. If anything, they dollarize. That's usually their go-to. And so we generally see that as developing countries have currency problems and developing currencies kind of get inroads in there. And the big question is, what happens when eventually these major developed currencies fail or begin to have their kind of ongoing inflationary spiral in a similar way to what you see in an emerging market? So basically, when when their debt level gets so high, when their interest expense is completely untenable, when we have an energy shortage, for example, and you see kind of just money printing from these central banks, what happens then? Great question. What is the apex predator, aka Bitcoin, that comes after them in a similar way that the dollar comes after? Argentina comes after Lebanon. What comes after these major currencies when they eventually start to have problems? Great question. And really, the only two options I think are gold or Bitcoin. In a world where Bitcoin was never invented, gold would be the only possible fallback mechanism to recapitalize the system, reset, and unfortunately, probably build the whole system all over again. You probably would fraction reserve gold again and kind of repeat this cycle over the next century. I don't know. Bitcoin presents another path we can take that the question then becomes, will Bitcoin remain secure and decentralized enough to kind of hold that burden? I think so. It's scarcer than gold in the sense that, as you know, lower terminal supply, so eventually zero inflation compared to gold's on average 1.5% inflation per year. Preach. Bitcoin is also portable, so you can bring it around the world with you. You can memorize 12 words and you can bring all of your Bitcoin with you. Preach. Whereas if you try to bring dollars or gold through the airport, you're going to be pretty restricted in how much you can legally bring through practically bring through, so that the portability and that extra scarceness gives a really powerful advantage. But of course, it is relying on the global telecommunications system. It is reliant on being able to survive against potential attacks or bugs. And so it is nowhere. We are still less than 15 years into Bitcoin's existence. And I think every kind of cycle that goes through is another test to see how resilient it is, to the extent that if Bitcoin does not break, if Bitcoin cannot be captured or defeated in some way, I would expect it to continue capturing market share. And then should whatever reason it fail, gold is still the fallback option. It is something that, the power goes out and you have gold, you still have your own bare asset money. So I still think gold has a role even in a Bitcoin future. And the main question between gold or Bitcoin comes down to, can nation states break Bitcoin? Can someone try to find a way to break Bitcoin? Will Bitcoin ever fall from its own incentive structure? Like, will whatever kind of centralize in a way that damages it? And if not, I think it continues taking the market share. That's right, the apex predator dominates, fam. In a world where Bitcoin is successful, large institutions are going to own chunks of it. Eventually, even the central banks would own it. We could have a Bitcoin standard. Preach. And over time, I think it's one of those things. If any one entity were to own, say, 20% of Bitcoin, I find that very concerning, because if there were kind of attempts at forks and things like that, they'd have a lot of pricing power to help determine which fork can win. But if an entity has a few percentage of the Bitcoin network, I don't view that as an attack on Bitcoin. In general, the scarcer an asset is, the faster it can be withdrawn. The harder it is to build large paper markets over it. So one of the challenges with gold is that, as scarce and attractive as it is, the portability is limiting. The divisibility, the verification, is limiting. And so historically what happens is people want to hold their gold in vaults, and then it gets fraction reserved and rehypothecated, and that eventually breaks after decades. Eventually, entities like China or India just kind of keep taking the gold, and eventually things break, just like the central banks are hoarding gold right now. But that's usually a multi-decade process, whereas if you have something like Bitcoin, that can be withdrawn quicker. That's right, we have the power to, pull our keys. Every 10 minutes on average, the entire network is audited by the node network. You can bring Bitcoin out, it grows more slowly, has zero terminal inflation, that shrugs off attempts of rehypothecation and fractional reserves more quickly, the cycle years instead of decades. Bitcoin is kind of a binary outcome. Either it works tremendously well, or it probably doesn't work very much at all. It eventually stagnates and dies. So basically saying 20 years from now, does something kill it? Does nobody want to use it? Do people find something better? If so, then you're not going to have almost any volume, perhaps no volume. But on the other hand, listen up, folks. If Bitcoin continues to be successful, the volumes could be tremendous, and Bitcoin would be prospering in that regard. So at the 14-year mark into that. 14 years since Bitcoin's inception, the Bitcoin network does process trillions of dollars worth of Bitcoin transactional volume. Now, a lot of that is moving between the exchanges. A lot of that is people choosing to pull that into their own cold storage. Basically, you still have a lot of overall volume. It is not really yet for medium exchange purposes, but I think that's normal in this kind of early period of adoption where the price keeps going up, and that's where the capital gains taxes on any sale, which you might have. People have a natural tendency to hoard it and use it, that savings, and I think the fact that if you go back to 2010 and say this network is worth $500 billion, the current temporary Speaker of the House hosts the Bitcoin white paper on his website. He is actually a Bitcoin fan. Preach. We have had multiple political presidential candidates talking about Bitcoin. That's right. Kennedy Jr., DeSantis, etc. We have a nation that has adopted it as the second legal tender alongside the dollar. Shout out to Nayib Bukele in El Salvador. They have their own Bitcoin office. Preach. You have, the Kingdom of Bhutan was mining Bitcoin. We have some of the Middle Eastern countries getting into Bitcoin mining. We have trillions of dollars in transactional volume. So I do think that we are actually quite far along in that whole vision. When I picture 7 years from now, so Satoshi's 20-year mark, I do expect it to be further along. But when you kind of compare where the Bitcoin network is now and where it can go or what the competition is, we look at FedWire. So the Federal Reserve Base Settlement System that settles, and this is not a typo, $1 quadrillion of settlement volumes per year. It was above 1 quadrillion. That's 1,000 trillions in gross settlement volume. So these numbers can reach extremely high volumes. Basically, what Bitcoin is a decentralized open source FedWire for the world. And so right now it is still tiny compared to the biggest ledger, which is the US dollar system, the FedWire system, the Euro dollar system built around that system. That's by far the biggest network. Bitcoin is nowhere near getting to that. And I think even in 7 years, it'll still be probably not in the same ballpark as the dollar system. But I do think in 7 years, Satoshi's 20-year mark, I do think Bitcoin could be another 10x here in terms of market cap, transaction volumes, and overall adoption. I do not think another order magnitude would be off the table in that time frame, and I think that'd be considered very successful for that time frame. So there you have it, coming directly from macroeconomist Lyn Alden. So what's 10x the market cap of Bitcoin from 500 billion, just north of where we are currently at? Then we're looking at, you run the math, I think that would be roughly $5 trillion market cap. And if we do the math, what is 10x the current price action? That's above $270,000 per Bitcoin. So let me know if you agree or disagree with the prediction from Lyn Alden. Make some noise in the comments right down below, which leads us to our next segment of the show, which is the live Q&A. I pulled up the YouTube chat live on your screen so you can interact. So make sure to say hello and get the shout out. Shout out to Nate. What it do, fam? $0 G Row, passive income with AI. Chris, good to see you, fam. Digital dankness in the building. Gary Gensler, do you lick the short bus windows? Is Gary Gensler in the chat watching Crypto News Alerts live right now? Word. Shout out to the chairman of the SEC. Yeah, what it do? I need more cheap stats. Don't we all, McLovin? Don't we all? Much love and respect to everyone out there. JV put in some work today. I appreciate you, dankness. You always be putting in the work too. Much love, much respect, as we always do. Yeah, this is pod number 1432. Damn right. SF Hoddle, hello. How are we feeling about the DC District Court ordering the SEC to resolve the grayscale appeal? This is fantastic. It shows you there's not going to be much resistance moving forward with the spot Bitcoin ETF approval. Congress put the pressure on the chairman, no clarity Gary, so he's going to have to make a decision because there is no logical reason to continue to deny that unless you're just planning on spoofing the markets, manipulation, and a lot of very unethical things, which we believe the SEC has been doing since rejecting the first spot Bitcoin ETF over a freaking decade ago, fam. So yeah, couldn't be more bullish. Damn, fantastic news. Much love, fam. Gary's not the only one needing swift eradication from power. Let's start cleaning from the top down. Amen, fam. What up, JV? Appreciate it. Walter DeBarros, appreciate you tuning in. What it do, Maximus? Shout out to our moderators doing a damn good job. I wonder when ETFs get approved and Bitcoin becomes a common, ordinary part of the financial ecosystem, all this FUD will evaporate. Then what will we talk about, right? We'll talk about Bitcoin going, to another 10x, another 100x. It's just going to continue to go up. It is the apex predator. It's going to be eating everything else's market cap. Think there is an imminent God candle? 100%. Only a matter of time. I was actually talking about that the other day. I think there will eventually be a God candle and we'll just soar right back above 50,000. And then everyone on the sidelines will be missed out and be like, oh crap, I thought I had more time to get in the game. That's why I'm telling you to get in the game today, as if this was EA Sports. You know what I mean? My video game players out there know what I'm referencing. Tuning in from Washington for the Daily Gospel. That's right, church is in session. This is Bitcoin Church. Welcome everyone. Hallowed be thy name. Much love, much respect. Jeff S., what up? Chris Demore, appreciate you, fam. Happy Sunday to you as well, Christopher Cooper. Appreciate you tuning in. Almost at paradise. Word up. Paradise it is. I can't be the only one having a good day. We having a fantastic day, fam. Much love, much respect. Nipsey being a G. Yeah, Nipsey's doing what Nipsey does best in that position. What up, guys? What up, Merc30? What up, Pete? Balu, what it do? Been a while. Let's go stacking in Holland. Merc30, word up. Shout out to Yaheem Stone from Waterford, Michigan. Appreciate your support. What is the highest price you have ever paid for Bitcoin, says Jeff. I don't want to disclose that because honestly, I don't know. And I don't want to pull a number out of my butt just to keep it real. But I'm very fortunate. The majority of the Bitcoin I acquired was back when it was a fraction of what it is today. So I will say I am blessed and I am very grateful. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'll leave it at that. How about you guys? What was the highest or lowest price you've ever paid? I think my very first Bitcoin transaction may have been roughly $1,500. This was back in 2017. I think I purchased it on CoinMama, if I'm not mistaken, and there was a massive credit card fee. But here's my thinking. Bitcoin was brand new to me, so I didn't know much about it. And I said, if I'm going to invest into this alternative asset class, to me it makes sense. Use the bank's money. So I used credit cards and I used the bank's money, OPM, other people's money. I learned this concept, I think, from Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, you know what I mean, back in the day. And I said, okay, I'll just put all the bank's money into it. And it worked out. I borrowed as much money as I possibly could from banks, and I purchased up as much Bitcoin as I possibly could. Everyone thought I was crazy. Here I am doing a podcast every day on Bitcoin for the past 5 years. You know what I mean? So happy days, fam. $0 G-Row, what it do? What's up? Good to see you guys. Weekly DCA. So what price haven't I lost Bitcoin in a boating accident to? A lot of you guys I saw lost your wallets due to global warming. Such a tragedy, fam. Things are getting real out there. I have a bit I have a bit of Ether, lots more Bitcoin. Smart there, definitely. If ETH can just print more, it'll never be the king. That's right. And what's interesting about Ethereum, if you looked on CoinMarketCap, you look at the max supply, it shows you the infinity sign, which virtually means Ethereum, similar to the dollar, they can just print unlimited amounts. So therefore, it cannot be used as a store of value. The only store of value options that are viable in today's world, gold and Bitcoin, and gold is so much inferior to Bitcoin and what it offers. You know, we already discussed this earlier in the show. From the visibility, a Bitcoin can be divided by 100 million Satoshis. Try breaking a gold bar. Good luck with that. Try traveling with that gold bar. It'll get confiscated faster than you can say Gary Gensler is a huckster. You know what I mean? Just saying, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, and Bitcoin, we still above 27,000. Let's freaking go. Yeah. Hodl, I'm on the same boat. Word up. Fairgrounds, watching from Cornwall, England. Much love, fam. Smash those likes. I appreciate that. It helps out tremendously with the YouTube algorithm, so I appreciate each and every smash like. Glenn T, welcome from Australia. Sylvania in the house. Shout out Mos Def, one of my favorite rappers growing up. It was Mos Def and Talib Kweli. Shout out to Black Star. Good stuff. Smash that like button, says Glenn. Appreciate that. Nate says, Western US, glad to make it here live again. Well, I appreciate you tuning in live, Nate. Much love and much respect. What up, dude? What up, Stephen Minton? Let's go, JV. Risk of centralization and governance doesn't exist with BTC. That's right. It's the only truly decentralized cryptocurrency, and that's what makes it so much more superior than all the competition, hence why Bitcoin is the apex predator. Facts. Just saying, keeping it Bitcoin, the Bahamas. Word up, Christopher Cooper. Unfortunately for the Bahamas, you had Bankman-Fried opening up shop and FTX out there, and they were scamming, and his parents were receiving all these properties from stolen funds they were taking from the exchange. They were ultimately offloading your Bitcoin as soon as you uploaded it to the exchange and replacing it with numbers on the screen, creating scam coins. You know what I mean? Like Solana, FTT, the native token of the FTX exchange. Wild. Top of the day, JV, listening in from the UK. Shout out Michael Morris. We have a very big audience in the UK. Shout out to everyone out there. Much love, much respect. I think Bitcoin may be gold in 5 years. It's an $11 trillion market cap. Thanks for the clarification, Robert Brady. The article is conservative with 8 to 10 years. Either way, it is just a blink in the eye of time. This would see 523,000 per BTC. Let's freaking go. Let's go, Robert. Appreciate you. Thanks for sharing, fam. Bitcoin Maxi cares about... Oh, no Bitcoin Maxi cares about MetaMask. Pretty true, no, yo. This is pretty true because you can't use it as Bitcoiner. It's for Ethereum specific or ERC20 tokens. Robert Brady, I'm guessing less than 5. But yeah, I also believe that article is conservative. But it is what it is. Are wallets on web browsers bad ideas? Because I see it a lot. Personally, yes. If you compared it to a cold storage wallet, such as a Trezor, it's not as secure and not as safe because your computer can be hacked. The difference with a hardware physical device, you're not using it, it's not even plugged in your computer. No one can take it or steal it. You know what I mean? So it's much more secure on a security scale. That's why it's superior. It's just more convenient to use the online wallets. They're free to download. You know, you can put it on your computer, you can put it on your mobile phone. There's like the Trust Wallet token. There's a lot of options, you know, out there. You know what I mean? Is Electrum considered cold storage? I don't think so, but I'm not familiar with Electrum. But if it's a computer wallet, no. Cold storage, what can be considered, it's not stored on your computer. If I have it on my phone but don't trust it since it is connected to my phone, how much Bitcoin is enough? There is no such thing as enough Bitcoin, and there is no second best. So keep stacking. Elipal, because it also adds in their air gap feature. That's what's up. Air gap is the most secure type of wallet you can use because it doesn't have to even connect to a computer, meaning it never even has to connect to the internet to be able to use it. So that's fantastic. I believe Kathy Wood's ETF approval in January will trigger the ETF apps to be approved. Let's go. Hope you're right, Robert. That'd be fantastic for the time of the halving. And this could be the calm before the storm and your last opportunity to accumulate Bitcoin sub 30,000. If you don't accumulate now and get in the game and get off the sidelines, guess what? You're going to be paying over $70,000 per coin in a few months. Mark my words, fam. I mean that sincerely. Bitcoin is a store of value, much like gold. Is anything ever enough? Enough. What do we have enough of? Enough propaganda from the mainstream media, enough Bitcoin FUD. How many obituaries? How many times has Bitcoin died in the past decade? Holy moly, thousands. I'm sitting here at a camping chair in front of my new log burner. Oh, wow. And no other furniture as I'm decorating my living room and whiskey in hand. Enjoy yourself out there, Baz. The ETS might still be in 2023. There's still the possibility, but I think they say 90 or 95% chance early 2024. So we shall see. I wasn't here yesterday because the broker I use in Peru, shout out to Peru, shout out to Neo Styles, was selling Bitcoin at 10,000 just for a quick minute. And I was, what? Busy buying a third Bitcoin at the price of 13,000. Can you say instant 90% profit? Holy moly. Who else would want that deal? You serious? Selling Bitcoin at 10,000? Are they crazy? Triple your dollars just like that. Well done. I'm just hodling Caveman Zero. Got to do what it do. Felix, I have one Solana. Gonna sell it next run. Smart move. An exchange either maybe for BTC. Dankness, you got video of it now. I was waiting for the new Trezor to launch, so I'm looking for a new device. The ETS will be approved at the same time and pretty soon, I think. I hope you're right, boss. But JV, I want it approved this year, 2023. Come on, Bitcoin, you can do it. Come on, SEC, do the right thing now this year. Come on, Gary. We're counting on you, guy. I'm working on the top 3 wallets vid. Shout out to Dankness. Can't wait to see it. I know he's going to be releasing his next video on Monday as well, which I believe is tomorrow. JV is an unregistered security, says Gary Gensler. Gary is in the chat. Massive shout out to the chairman. I can't believe it. We have made it. We got the chairman of the SEC, the sheriff, the HNIC, the head. in charge, here with us on Crypto News Alerts. Celebration. Shout out $0 Giro, what it do? True story, says Neo. Fairground, what up? This happened yesterday, most likely broker manipulation or customer error. Interesting. Still waiting for my ledger stacks. Word up, Bring Facts. And Bring Facts got the quote of the day yesterday. I posted that on X. I think every day we're going to have a quote of the day from the live chat. So say something brilliant and I'll repeat it and you may win quote of the day. Yesterday is what happened to me when preparation met opportunity. Yeah, seems to be that way. Well done. Mainly not until we reach a total mass adoption of such an amazing store value. Yeah, it is 100%. No doubt. Now, also, guys, if you're new here or didn't know, I recently launched a Clips channel, which can be found at clips.cryptonewsalerts.net, and I'm taking shorts and clips exclusively from the daily live stream and putting them exclusively on the shorts channel, meaning you're not going to find any shorts or clips on this main channel. We have an exclusive channel recently created specifically for that. Please help support us over there. It's clips.cryptonewsalerts.net. Make sure to subscribe. I think we already got over 600 subscribers our first month, and it is blowing up. We're getting more traffic to the Clips channel than this main channel I've had for 5 years. Can you say shadow banned? What's up, YouTube? Just saying. Yeah, craziness to say the least. What else are you guys excited about in crypto? Do let me know. Howard Joblo, let it roll. You already know, fam. Holy moly, Bitcoin is on the move. We're pumping, fam. 27.2. Keep on going north. That's what's up. Every time I go live, it's bullish for the entire Bitcoin community. You already know, so spread the love. You know what I mean? Make sure to smash that like button, fam. It helps out tremendously with the algorithm. Will help usher in massive adoption as more eyeballs will watch this. Real talk. Yeah, it's not shadow banned yet. Yeah, maybe why. The brand new channel outpacing my 5-year channel. I've had over 1,800 episodes on this channel, and I have a brand new channel outperforming the 5-year-old channel. Things that make you go, One of the reasons we also created a Rumble channel. I think Rumble will outpace my YouTube audience because, it's uncensored. And there's certain things I can't talk about here that I can talk about over there. And if you didn't know, we stream simultaneously on the YouTube platform and Rumble at the same time. And then after the YouTube stream ends, we continue with the Uncensored After Party exclusive on Rumble. So if you want to watch JV Uncensored and tune into the JV React sessions where I'm using the smart pads, we're playing audios, and I'm doing live reactions, you're going to want to make sure to be following me on Rumble as well. I also include the Rumble link in the live chat, and I pinned it over on YouTube, so it's easy to find. Also, if you just go to Rumble, type in Crypto News Alerts, I'm sure you'll find me as well, as it's very easy to find it. Do a little more Q&A, and then we'll switch over to Rumble. Yeah, I can't believe Gary Gensler is in the building. I could even do Gary Gensler impersonations on Rumble, in which I can't do here on YouTube. Just saying. Hi, I feel sure ETFs are all on. Might be one at a time, but close succession. Go to be very bullish from now. FOMO like a mofo in the driving seat. Word up, Spycraft. I appreciate you. A woman munching on a turd. What are you talking about, Nate? What kind of shenanigans is this? Come get your Gensler bucks. GB, Gensler bucks. That's got a certain ring to it. I'm going to feed so many cats when Bitcoin reaches 100,000. Are you a cat lover there, fam? What AI investment are you guys into? What's next up, guys? Good question. I'm not in any AI investments, so I can't tell you. I like peeing on notices, says Passive. Yeah, man, let's freaking go. Appreciate the love, dankness. I slept with Elizabeth Warren. Gary, you shouldn't be talking about that in a lot. This is public, fam. People are going to be using this now on X, talking about, you having an affair with Elizabeth Warren. I can't believe that. I don't know if this is a parody account or if this is the real Gary. Just saying. One of my favorite hobbies is memorizing my key. That's what's up, Neo. Fun, right? It takes your memory to the next level. And it's interesting when you put your mind to it, you can remember anything. You know what I mean? Remember back in the day, like when you used to have to remember phone numbers? And then technology evolved and it's like, I don't want to waste room in my brain remembering a number. No, it's good practice. Use your freaking brain and you exercise your memory. It's like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. You know what I mean? If you never use your memory and exercise it, it's going to become weaker and weaker. It's just the nature of the beast. Nipsey, pump it up. Shout out to Nipsey. YouTube is missiles. We are switching to guns on Rumble. You already know, Mikey. So Rumble is chess, right? The greatest game ever created. And YouTube is checkers. You know, I prefer chess personally, but that's just me. It is a fake account. Thanks for the clarification. That's not the real Gary Gensler, okay? So that's not the real huckster. I remember my childhood phone number still. Same here. I'll never forget it. I remember writing a rap song to a girl I liked, and I put my phone number in the track, and I have that in my brain. I'll never forget it. NVIDIA for an AI investment. There you have it. OG Backroad Crypto Bootleg. Shout out to you. How do you guys like the chat on the screen? Do you find this insightful and helpful during the Q&A session? Let me know, fam. I appreciate it. I could also put it on the B-roll screen, but hey, we'll figure it out. I just wanted to get it up there. Chris, what up? I'm looking for something cheap like PLTR. That's just the beginning. Play Go. Better than chess, in my opinion. Okay, man. I don't agree, but then again, I don't know Go. So, hey, I can't really talk. But I will say this. I love chess so much. I firmly believe there can never be a greater game ever invented. I love it so much, I don't even want to waste any of my time playing another game. I just love it that much. It's almost like as much as I love basketball, why would I play another sport? I just love basketball so much. I don't want to be on the tennis court. I don't want to be doing that. I just want to be playing same way with chess. Same way with Bitcoin. When it comes to crypto, I just want Bitcoin. I just want to be I don't care about anything else. I'm a loyal man. That's just how I am. That's just how I'm wired. If I like something like oatmeal, I eat that every freaking day. I love it. It's perfect. Makes me feel good. You know what I mean? That's just the way I am. I'm a simple dude. Very simple dude. What up, Nate? Still looking forward to someone coming up with the Bitcoin Shuffle for JV's $100,000 fiesta. Everyone can go to the Bitcoin Shuffle dance at the party, and then we go viral. That'll be lit. And if you guys want to attend the $100,000 Bitcoin Fiesta, which virtually means, if you're new to the channel, once Bitcoin surpasses $100,000, well, more realistically, when Bitcoin surpasses the all-time high of 69,000, we'll start planning the date for the Bitcoin Fiesta in Puerto Rico, where everyone's invited, and we're just going to have a meetup and celebrate, and we're going to have a lot of surprises. We'll have a time you'll never forget. We'll leave it at that, and I encourage you to join the Discord. It's free to do so. Plug into the Crypto News Alerts fam and connect with fellow Bitcoin like-minded people like ourselves. It's discord.cryptonewsalerts.net. Again, discord.cryptonewsalerts.net. I look forward to seeing you there. Darn. Yeah, I mean, yo. It is what it is. And I know this chat is lit. I appreciate it, guys, but we're going to continue the conversation uncensored over on Rumble. Thank you, everyone on YouTube, for tuning in. And again, if you got value out of this, please smash that like button. It helps out. It's going to get more eyeballs on the channel. I appreciate it, guys. And if you're not going to join us on Rumble, I'll see you tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel, but hopefully I'll see you over in a couple of moments over on Rumble. Deuces, YouTube, JV is out. All right, YouTube stream is